Are we the only living things in the entire universe? The observable universe spans roughly 90 billion light-years in diameter. Scattered across that immense expanse are at least 100 billion galaxies, with each one containing hundreds of billions of individual stars. But here is a sobering limitation. Because the universe is expanding, galaxies outside our immediate neighborhood are moving away faster than we could ever travel. We are trapped inside a cluster of 50 galaxies known as the local group. Even if we built incredibly fast ships, the vast expanding emptiness between here and the rest of the cosmos means we will never reach them. If we want to find out if anyone else is out there, we have to look exclusively within our own home galaxy. The Milky Way contains roughly 400 billion stars. To put that scale in perspective, that is about 10,000 stars for every single grain of sand on Earth. Let's filter those numbers down. Out of 400 billion stars, astronomers estimate 20 billion are similar to our Sun. A fifth of those host Earth-sized planets orbiting in the habitable zone. If life takes hold on just 0.1% of those, our galaxy mathematically contains 1 million planets harboring life right now. You also have to factor in the element of time. The Milky Way is 13 billion years old, while Earth is only 4 billion years old. There were billions of years for life to develop on other planets long before our solar system even formed. Given a million habitable planets and a massive multi-billion-year head start, pure statistical probability dictates that our galaxy should already be crawling with impossibly advanced, star-harvesting empires. If a species had millions of years of uninterrupted evolution, they would look like gods to us. They could build colossal structures that enclose their entire host star, harvesting its total energy output to fuel their expansion. This timeline illustrates exactly how quickly that expansion could happen. Even if a civilization relied on slow-moving ships that took generations to travel between stars, they could easily colonize the entire Milky Way in just 2 million years. Against a 13 billion-year-old galaxy, 2 million years is practically a rounding error. With the math heavily in favor of life and the vast stretches of time available for it to spread, the night sky should be densely packed with the unmistakable lights and signals of galactic empires. But when we point our telescopes out into the darkness, we hear no signals. We see no megastructures. We see absolutely nothing. This sharp contradiction between the overwhelming statistical probability of alien life and the complete lack of any observational evidence is what scientists call the Fermi Paradox. The dead silence of the cosmos tells us our math is missing a variable. There is clearly a critical flaw in how we understand the survival of life in the universe. One way to explain the silence is a concept called the Great Filter. The Great Filter is a theoretical, nearly insurmountable barrier in the evolutionary timeline that makes it incredibly difficult for life to progress past a certain point. It is possible that this filter is already behind us. The chemical and biological steps required to spark complex life from dead matter might be so miraculously difficult that humanity is essentially a mathematical anomaly. But there is a much darker possibility. The filter might lie ahead of us. In this scenario, life arises constantly across the galaxy, but whenever a civilization develops advanced technology, they inevitably trigger their own planetary destruction before they can leave their home world. Alternatively, there could be an ancient apex civilization quietly monitoring the stars. If a younger species expands and gets loud enough to be detected, they are instantly annihilated by a force they never saw coming. If the filter truly does lie in our future, then our greatest upcoming scientific breakthroughs are likely going to be the exact instruments that ensure our extinction. There is one final explanation for the silence. There are no invisible filters. There are no predators waiting in the dark. We are just entirely alone. Staring out into a completely dead, empty universe and realizing you are trapped on a tiny rock in an endless void is an inherently terrifying thought. If it scares you, you are having the correct emotional reaction. But that fear brings an immense sense of duty. If we allow ourselves to go extinct, we take the only consciousness in the cosmos down with us. The entire universe would permanently lose its only living observers. Humanity has to endure. We must survive long enough to become that ancient, star-faring civilization ourselves, carrying the fragile flame of life outward to dead planets and empty solar systems. We have a choice to make. We can either be a brief, meaningless spark that quietly fades into oblivion, or we can step up and become the universe's singular chance to finally experience itself.